Okay, so the next section now, we're going to be working from chapter 11 onwards. So we're going to skip over 9 and 10. But I'm just going to quickly bring in the data that we would have worked with 9, chapter 9, just so you can see. And that is also bringing in one of your own CSV files. So giving you the demo again of showing you how to open up a CSV file isn't going to be time wasted. So CSV files, you open them using this icon on the left in your toolbar over here, which is Add Delimited Text Layer. By clicking there, bring you up this window. And so don't copy this when you do it. I'm just going to show you with this other set of data I'm just going to bring in, which is about individual cases of stop and search. And so these have many data points. So it's a CSV file, and we have our latitude and longitude. So this is an example of point data. And so we have to let QGIS know that we're bringing in our point coordinates and filling in the right way around latitude or longitude. As Mike said, we could end up in somewhere in Africa if we get them around the wrong way. So if we add this to our project, the reason I wanted to show you this was this data I downloaded from that police website that I showed you at the beginning. And by just bringing it in, we can see very quickly that there are some spurious data points in our file. So having just this eyeballing a CSV file, you wouldn't be able to pull this out as quickly. So just to demonstrate that, always involve data cleansing. Whatever data you use, always check for errors and just investigate what's going on. Right, so that's all I wanted to show you for that. And so for chapter 9, what I was showing you was a way of using a heat map, and so you can change the settings to make it into a nice heat map. So we've got lots of clusters, be a denser color, but I'm not going to go through that for time. You can follow that through chapter 9 if you have data like that. Right, so for chapter 11, this is reading in our headquarter locations. So these are our 5 police headquarter sites. Again, this was CSV file, so delimited text file. And we go and we navigate to our headquarters data. So as I just showed you before, we keep this as a CSV. Point coordinates, it's already populated automatically. It's found some values that it likes and gives us a bit of a sample of this is our full data set in this window. Add, close. So little celebration, fantastic. The projection that it's using is correct. Our points are landing where we would expect. So we don't need to worry about any of playing with the projection. We can see the headquarters layer is here in the layers panel, and our points are on the map. Over in our layers styling for our headquarters layer, again, it just populates it with the same symbol for all, and it's given it a circle. And again, it tends to default to other dull colors, got a bit of a beige circle. So if we were just going to have a single symbol on our map, we'd spend some time to make this symbol something we'd like. I'm just going to close down this panel, not using that. But for this example, want to have our points to have a different style based on the that Boolean field of whether it's also a fire and rescue. So as with the shapefile over here, if we have the headquarters layer highlighted and we select up the top here, its attribute table. Is it opened? I can't see the error message for the Zoom. Wait a second. How can I move that away? Oh, this is frustrating, isn't it? Let me start, do that again. Headquarters. Oh, it's hidden behind. Sorry about that. So let's never happened before, always happens on the live demo. So for some reason, when I clicked on the attribute table icon for my layers, it opened it up behind the main screen of QGIS. So anyway, so when I brought that in, I've then used this here to dock it then to my window. And we can see, as before, we can highlight our rows and it will show in yellow which one it is on the map, and vice versa. Do it the other way, click on it, make them go to the top. Not as important in a tiny data set, we can always see it. So there we've got the relationship there between our points on the map and our attribute table. So it's this column over here, this fire rescue underscore HQ site. Is it also a fire and rescue site? So based on this value, we want to style our points. So this is you over in the layers styling. Instead of single symbol, we want to use categorized. And we choose under value the column which contains the value we want to categorize on. And then we click classify down here to bring in the data and give it a symbol per category. So those steps again, that was categorized, then bring in the field, and then classify. And it will just give it a random allocation for the symbol. So now we want to change these symbols, because these are what we're going to have on the map to be between the fire and police and just police. So you can either, if you know you want to have the same symbol for all your categories and then just change the color, then you can change the symbol up here to be whatever you'd like, because then when you go and it's live update on your map. And so it is changing, when you're changing this, it's applying that properties to both of your symbols. Whereas if you want to just change something to do with just one of your symbol, then you just double click, I'll go back, just double click on that symbol, and we can make it back to being just a dot for the police. I quite liked the fact, so on this one, we have one which looks a bit like a fire. So we can make that our fire symbol. So the other useful thing we can do is add labels to our points. So up here at the moment in our layers styling, we have been using this tab here for our symbols. The next one down, we can be controlling our labels. So the one above is for the styling of the points and for the polygons, and the one below is for our labels. Default for no label. And if we ask, so single labels means one same applied for all, and its default, it's pulled out this field headquarters from our data, and that's correct. We do want to populate our label with this text field. And then beneath that, we have information, the properties we can change. So can change this, the size of our text. I like to draw a buffer around and drop it down to say like 50%, just to help it stand out from behind. And then there's a tab over here about placement, because at the moment it's pretty on our point, whereas if we have it set, let's say, depending on how big our dots are, set it from a distance. There are other options here for, I think that draws a different type of background rather than a buffer to our points, to our labels. So that's how we style then our labels, is under this tab here. That's quite a quick fire round for you now to go and replicate what I've just done there. So you're going to be replicating the information in chapters 11 and 12. And yeah, in 12, just do the normal label. It goes on to do rule-based labels and other stuff. So ignore that, just do the getting a label on the map. So bring in your data, categorize your two different style for points and give them a label. What's the time now? So if I just give you 10 minutes for this, so come back at 3:45. Okay, and we'll be on hand to help. Thank you.